Hello, everyone. It's Stiles here with Miss Daisy. How's it going? She's very excited. So welcome to Wellness Week, sponsored by Tom's of Maine. And I'm very happy to have my friends at Mind Body Green over here to my apartment here in Dumbo. We moved in about in August in the summer, and it's been really great. It's actually been really great for our wellness lifestyles as well. It's easy to be well here in this neighborhood. We have a little bit more space in the apartment just to spread out and do yoga, which is really nice. We lived in Soho before, which is a great neighborhood and close to our studio, but tinier spaces in Soho. So we're happy to be here, and it's nice to walk around in the neighborhood and have a good time and see our friends and play with lots of other babies in the neighborhood and all of that. So we wanted to talk to you guys today about how we stay well and our tips and tricks for doing yoga at home and meditating at home. And if you have a little one, doing that with a little one as well. So if you have any questions or just want to say hi or shout out, feel free to leave them in the comments, and we'll try to address that either now in the Facebook Live or in a little while after. So Daisy's very excited to be here with you guys as well. Can you tell? She's not shy at all. She sees a camera and she knows she's talking to the world. The world is in there. Yay! So one thing that we really love to do together is yoga, and I know it could be kind of a mind-bending thing to think about how to do yoga with a little one, and they crawl everywhere if they're crawling everywhere, or they move everywhere and have a lot of fun, which is totally fine, and she just goes. But a lot of things that we like to do together is just be on the floor and roll around and move around as well. Mike, can you grab her? Mike's over there, he's gonna grab her. Make sure she's all right. But I love just getting down on the floor with her, and one thing that really helps us really practice yoga a lot is keeping a yoga mat down on the floor. So we have one in the bedroom, I sometimes keep one in her room and in the living room, and just simply being on the mat is an inspiration to move a little side to side or easy forward and back, or to simply do some yoga. Is she gonna come back? You gonna come back? You can bring her on. Bring her over here. Come over here. Come on. This is her favorite yak. We keep it in the office. It's the office yak. We're gonna do some yoga. All right, let's show them our yoga moves. Okay, so first thing, again, depends on the mood. You know, yoga solo for me as a mom or me as an individual is much different than yoga with a baby. So I don't think one necessarily replaces the other, but it's fun to do together. And you're an added like 20-something pounder, so yoga with weights in a different way. All right, so sometimes we'll just sit here. If she's a little sleepy, we can kind of sit and breathe and be quiet, but honestly, that doesn't really last for too long at this stage. She's almost a year old, so she's moving around a whole lot. So sometimes we'll just bend a little side to side and roll around. And one move that I really love to do with you that you find entertaining, I think sometimes, is a little bit of a boat lift and lower. So I'll just bring you up here. That's right. And I'll hold you like a little tiny baby that you're not anymore. She thinks it's funny. And we'll just kind of come down and all the way up. You like that? And all the way down and all the way up. And then a few more times, just rolling down and all the way up. And down. And then we can even do these twisty ones here, which is fun. Twist to the side, and all the way up, and to the other side, and all the way up. And then we bust into our acro yoga moves, which you can completely invent on your own. But she is easy to toss in the air and lift all the way up. All right. And then we can kind of just roll back and forth. So this is a nice one too, to just lift up, have a little giggle. Yay. And then come all the way back up. And again, all the way up, Supergirl, flying. And all the way up. And again, all the way up, flying. And all the way up. All right. One more time. And then all the way up, flying. And all the way up. All right. And then sometimes, if I'm really lucky, I can just kind of lie down on the floor and we're crawling around together and you'll just kind of crawl over me. She gives the best little baby adjustments. You are a little healer girl. Babies know kind of where to touch in all the right places, so you don't even have to think about it. And your contact is always really good with yoga. So thank you for being a good yoga partner. So those are just some simple moves that we do. And if we have a little more time, or if she's kind of really really into it, I'll do some standing moves and even hold her in a warrior two and tip back and tip forward. And she thinks if I'm upside down and downward dog, that's kind of funny. And she can kind of do her own moves too. So we have a lot of fun with that. And besides that, we just kind of hang around, get on the floor a lot, which is really nice, and have a good time. I think just being on the floor with the little ones feels really good, and it's nice to act like a kid as well and be playful and have fun and play with toys. And she's off again, so see you later. Daddy will get her, hopefully. But simply, it's nice to just enjoy and be together in this way, and to take the time to play on the floor. And if that turns into a few yoga moves, that's great. If it turns into just a little bit of cuddle time, that's great too. And another tip I have, I know sleep is a huge, huge thing, especially with new parents. And once Daisy started sleeping through the night, she became a great sleeper kind of overnight, and wasn't really a great sleeper in the beginning of her life. I think she was just too tiny, and she wanted to roll over and lie on her belly and sleep that way. And what are you doing over there? She's doing yoga on her own over there. But now that she's sleeping through the night, here, you gonna come back? Can you come back? I love to get up a little bit before she wakes up, and everybody wakes up. Mike's still sleeping too, and have my own time, my own practice. So that's something that's really, really quite beneficial and useful for me to connect and feel good in my body and in my mind, and reconnect with purpose and clarity and all those things, so I can be really present with this little one and with everything we have going on with Strala and travel and the studio, and just to stay sane and have a good time as well. So I hope you guys are enjoying wherever you are and doing yoga at home or with your little ones. Stay well, and feel free to ask me any questions and ask Daisy any questions. She'll try to answer as well. This is also a very good yoga move. It takes balance. Make sure you have a good grip. It's really nice.
Question from Sarah.
Okay, cool.
Sarah's just curious if you had any moves that you loved doing when you were pregnant with Daisy that really helped you.
Oh gosh, yeah. Yoga while pregnant for me just felt amazing. I mean, yoga feels amazing anyway, but with all of the kind of different sensations of pregnancy, anything where I'm kind of easygoing, moving a little side to side, forward and back. So, making adjustments for my pregnant body with her. So having a bit of a wider stance. So I loved low lunges, but instead of just kind of staying in a lunge with my back knee down, really rolling a little side to side or easy forward and back would help, my lower back and my whole body just to open up and feel really great. Oh, you want the ball. So adding a lot of movement to the kind of more static positions really helped, especially during pregnancy. So low lunges are really great. Things that are kind of more common, like pigeon pose, also felt really great. But again, adding that movement and kind of allowing myself to move into the places where it feels great to move. She's going after her ball. She'll do a lap probably and come back. This is what she does. She's pretty active. Don't worry, Dad's got her over there. But yeah, anything where adding a bit of movement, so sort of treating the poses like more of a sphere, always felt really good.
Rebecca wants to know, when is a normal age to start teaching children to do yoga?
Oh my gosh, this is an amazing question. Here's your beach ball. So teaching children to do yoga, I think, is something that's super fun, but also, it's really for the parents, especially when we do it together, to feel good and connect. Babies are so great at naturally, being open and playing and exploring their bodies. So I think, if you're going to do a baby and me or mommy and me class, we've done those a lot. They're really fun, but they're mainly for the parents, and when the babies get a little older, to socialize. But I think depending on what's happening in the lives of kids, dealing with stress and just being in your body. If I started yoga and was age 6, 7, or 8, I think I would have loved that and loved that whole experience of being physical with more of a mental component. So I think it's never too young to start, but maybe at like 6, 7, or 8 might be a time that depending on the baby, depending on the child, may feel really good and connected. So, oh, you have this mic. You can't have that. Sorry. That's one thing we can't have. Ah.
We're getting some more questions about your daily yoga practice. I know
Cool.
you mentioned a little bit about practicing in the morning, but are there any other times you kind of infuse that in? Are you still teaching?
Yeah, so practicing, gosh, different times a day. I'm not too strict, honestly, about waking up every day and doing yoga for an hour or whatever it is. So I love also, depending on the day, a practice right before bed. To get into my body and to feel good and kind of work out the kinks of the day. And since she's going to bed around 8 o'clock or 8:30, I have plenty of time just to wind down and lay out a mat and do a nice sort of gentle practice as well. She's totally crawling around the house everywhere. And as far as teaching, we're traveling a ton these days and teaching a lot of workshops and programs and trainings. And we're headed to Europe in a week and a half. And actually, we go to San Diego tomorrow. I teach some yoga at one of Deepak's conferences called Weekend Within. So I'll be there leading classes every day, which feels good to be around and be physical with people, but I still have to get in my own practice. I think teaching is great to move around and to connect in a more emotional way, but having my own complete practice, I feel, at least for me personally, is super essential. So whenever I can squeeze it in, I have to do it every day. Essential. Yeah, so feel free again if you have any more questions or comments to type them in, and I will see what you guys are up to and comment. We can keep in touch. So again, huge thanks for Toms of Maine for putting this on, and my good friends at MBG for coming over to my home in Dumbo. And be well, do your practice, and I'll see you guys soon.